Blessings and welcome to the Circle of Feka. I'm Lady Amaris. So this video I filmed back in September last year, and it just sat in my camera and didn't do anything. So I'm bringing it out and showing everyone. Some of the things I talk about, it's been and gone. It's one of those flash in the pan kind of things that happened across YouTube, and but the thing is, it's one of those things that it's a similar kind of concept that just gets regurgitated again. The next wave will surface of the same kind of drama that comes up about certain topics, and then it will ebb, and then it will come up again in a new way, in a new form. But it's basically the same kind of thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I had fun making it, and yeah, blessed be. Blessed be. Welcome to the Circle of Feka. I'm Lady Amaris. Well, I've decided to go all witchy today, and basically because I'm just about to go to a market where I will be plying my wares, and I just thought I'd witch it up today just to see how that goes. I don't usually wear all the witchy garb. I just wear the normal things that I usually wear during the day, and I just thought I'd spice it up a little bit. I'll give it a bit of a zhuzh, bit of a witchy zhuzh, and just to see how we go. Just a little bit of a look. I've got the blazing big pentagram there, bit of gratuitous boob shot, black. I've got the witchy hat, yeah, and some symbols. Let's see if I can find the symbols on the hands, make it all witchy, bit of ring action, and lots of witchy kind of makeup, and just see how that goes. Have a little bit of fun, because I found that a lot of the time people have a perception as to what a witch is supposed to look like. When you say that you're a witch, especially on the phone, and then I meet people in person and they're like, oh, that you're kind of not what I expected. So that's kind of like a nice little thing, that you're not what is expected, because usually what is expected is this kind of thing. A little bit of goth meets Elvira. The Mistress of the Dark, yeah, bit of goth, bit of spookiness, and that's not what witches are. But I'm having a little bit of fun, and I just thought also that I would just have a quick little thing about I've just seen on social media that everything's just gone ablaze, because some witches have got their nose out of joint about a pack from Sephora, a little witchy starter pack, which I've had a look at, and it doesn't look witchy. It looks like a generic spiritual pack that could have any label on it. It doesn't matter whether it's witch or just new age spiritual, or just spiritual pack. So it's very, very pink, very light, very much in what's the word? In line with makeup and young girls, basically. It's not something that's too confronting, so it's something that they could buy, take home, and parents wouldn't be too worried about it. And really, it's just some essential oils, like smell oils, a tarot pack where they can get anywhere, and some sage, which again you can get anywhere. Sage is, I think I've said to someone, sage is about as popular now as black is to witches. So you can get sage anywhere. It's not like it's a thing that is exclusive. And little tumblestones, which again you can get anywhere. I think a lot of even stores, even bookshops sell these sorts of things, and so I wasn't worried about it. It was like, it's just like a blip on the radar. It was just that I thought it's interesting that so many people got got offended. They rode up on there a big offended horse before they had a chance to actually, I don't know, think about it. Or maybe I think a few people thought that they should be offended because other people were offended. I don't know, but I know that it is commercializing witchcraft, but that gets done all the time. It's not it's not something that hasn't, it's not a new thing. And witchcraft is one of those things that come into vogue, in cycles. There's always the witchy style look. I even Googled and just said, the witchy style lookbook, the coven lookbook. So whenever there's a TV show that comes out, so like American Horror Story Coven, you have, what are those? I'm just trying to think. There's that new Charmed reboot that's come out. You have various other things. What was that one that was a little while ago? The Salem TV show. There's East End Witches or something. I'm not sure. All of these different things are commercializing on witchcraft, but I don't see anyone boycotting boycotting a TV station for misrepresenting witchcraft or cultural appropriation. It's a little bit weird. It's fine if it's a TV show or a movie. Everyone's like, oh, let's watch this. Or Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They had witches in there. No one was up in arms about that. But what happened with a lot of those sorts of things is you find that people become interested in it. Now, it's like everything. You have probably, let's say, 10 people are interested in something. And I've had that come into a lot of outer courts and a lot of people who are interested in witchcraft. Let's say 10 people are interested. 10 people come in. Then, they find out what it's really all about, that it's not, say a couple of words, we're the charmed ones, the power of 3, so mote it be, or whatever it is, and suddenly you've got powers. And it's not, fighting demons and white lighters, or whatever. So I'm trying to remember all of my charmed stuff. When they realise that it's not that fantasy, that there's actually something deeper meaning, a lot of them just float away. And then you'll have probably maybe 1 or 2 that are quite interested, and then out of that whole 10, you've got 1 that is really committed. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. It's a way of people being able to become exposed to it. Yes, it's trivializing certain things, but that's what the media does. The media puts it into little sound bites, little palatable chunks that people can kind of understand. And as I said, that little palette, nice pink colours, very, it could be anything. Could be anything. You just say spiritual, and then you've got all those tick box. The fact that it was coming out around Halloween, someone just said, why don't we call it a witches thing? And that's it. So, you see it come and go. Again, I don't see anyone boycotting any Harry Potter things. I don't see them, up in arms about, oh no, you're misrepresenting witches and whatnot, with some of the Harry Potter things that you see in bookstores. So, I don't know. I think it's a few people have maybe become offended, and then everyone else has gotten on the bandwagon because. Again, some of those things, it's there for special little gifts for people. So you might have, an auntie or whatever who goes, oh yeah, Sally's interested in that sort of thing. That's a nice little gift that I can give them on Christmas or whatever. It's not, it's not woo witchy. It's some tarot cards and that sort of thing. This day and age, tarot has been kind of demystified. You go to any psychic reader, and a lot of them will do tarot, and most people are fine with it, unless you go into a very religious kind of Bible Belt area. But the majority of people are fine with tarot. The majority of people have seen a smudge stick or are aware of a smudge stick. And the majority of people have seen the little tumblestone. So none of it is really, I didn't see any candles or pentacles or, any kind of thing that I would expect to see in a in a witch's starter kit, you know, some tarot cards which you can get at a bookshop. You know, I was at a bookshop yesterday and I saw a pack of tarot cards and other, you know, this is a mainstream bookshop. It's not, you know, an occult bookshop. So I know that when I was younger, I would have been overjoyed to see something like that. That would have been something that you could grab because, you know, it's not, especially when I was growing up, there was not a lot of stuff around. You'd go to the library, you know, there wouldn't really be anything in the mainstream bookshops. There was a bookshop in Perth when I was younger called the Magic Circle Bookshop. Awesome bookshop. They had, you know, in the front there was books that you could have, like romance novels and sci-fi novels and all of that sort of stuff, and you can you know, trade in secondhand and whatnot. But in the back, that's where the magic was. So in the back, they had all the occult books. These are like really old occult books. You had, you know, it wasn't any of the ones that you kind of get now, which are a little kind of watered down witchcraft books. These were, you know, this was old grimoires. These were, you know, things like ceremonial magic, you know, things from Aleister Crowley, some of the old, you know, traditional witchcraft books, all of those sorts of things. You had them in there, and it was awesome. Unfortunately, it closed down, but you know, that's the way things go. Everything has a cycle, and as I said, again, there is that cycle. I don't see anyone up in arms about any of the witchy movies. There may be the one or two that say you're misrepresenting witchcraft. So I don't quite understand. And then it's one of those, you know, you find that sort of little pack at Sephora would have been a gateway drug for a certain people. They get that and then they're like, oh, I might be interested in doing a little bit more. Yeah, so you've always going to have the people that dress because that's the way that they think they should look, and it's that surface witchcraft. You're going to have the ones that are going to look deeper, and they're going to look deeper regardless of how they started, whether it was a little witchy pack from Sephora or whether it was the fact that they walked past an occult store and got up the courage to actually walk in. And that's another thing, when you're starting off and you're still in that time when you're slightly brainwashed by maybe your parents or media or whatnot to say that witches are evil and magic's evil. Walking into an occult store, say by yourself, is quite a daunting thing. You know, I know sometimes if I walk into some of those high-end stores, it's kind of daunting. You're kind of looking in thinking, are they going to look at me and tell me to get out or whatnot? Because, you know, you're walking into a place that's not in your comfort zone. But walking around Sephora, you're a young girl and you're looking at makeup, and then you see that little pack. That can be your little lifeline, your little link to something more, something deeper. So yeah, I can understand how people would be, but offended by it and say that it's cultural appropriation. But things get appropriated all the time. You know, how far do you go back to say what is someone's culture? Because, you know, people talk, people mingle things together. So yeah, that's a big can of worms there that I won't go into because I do have to go. I might do a little bit of a video when I'm there. We'll have a look. Yeah, so just thought I would you know, let you see my witchy awesomeness, or more boobs. You know, maybe my viewer rate will go up if I show more boob. It seems to work for other ladies, so why not me? I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you understand that, like, sometimes you've just got to work out what dog you're gonna what dog you're gonna fight with. Whether you have a stake or whether it's a worthy cause, because yeah, I know that I know that I think I saw that they've taken them off the shelves. They're not going to do it anymore. They'll probably just rebrand it and call it something spiritual, and it won't be witchy, because it's so generic looking to me. And everyone's like, yeah, good on the win for the community. And so I'm just thinking, gosh, there are so many other issues that are going on with the world that warrant people getting together, getting up in arms and getting offended about. Things where YouTube is starting to, well, not starting, it's continuing to censor people's thoughts and feelings because advertisers don't like certain things, or maybe they're talking about things that the government doesn't like, who knows. But they are continuing to censor many people, and on the same front they're also enabling some really mentally ill people that I've seen on the YouTube, that they seem to have no problems spouting whatever it is, but when someone starts to maybe say something that's a little true, they start to get censored. So that would be something that you would want to be up in arms with. The fact that lots of witchy YouTubers are not doing as many videos because they are feeling that bite of being censored. That's something you need to get up in arms about. That's something you need to rally the community around. How about witches that are being persecuted in lots of third world countries, being killed, being tortured, and like right this second? That's something to get up in arms about. Not worrying about whether a makeup company is going to get a little profit out of just calling a pack a witchy pack. There are bigger things. There are bigger things in the world that you should. I'm shaking like anything, so hopefully that's not too bad. There are bigger things in the world that are going on that warrant a community rally around. There's so much infighting between lots of different groups. There is, one witch doesn't like what another witch is saying. One witch isn't witchy enough. One witch isn't authentic enough. My kung fu magic style is better than your kung fu magic style. It's all just I don't know. It's all schoolyard, and I think that you need to pick your fights. Don't rally around something that's so trivial and get into the bigger, meatier things. That sort of thing is first level witchcraft. It's face value witchcraft. It's not witchcraft. It's not magic. It's not changing reality. It's not changing the way things go, moving and shifting and changing energy. It's not communing with deity. It's not getting in touch with nature. It's not any of those things. It's getting your butt hurt because someone has put a tacky looking witchcraft looking thing in a makeup store, where makeup it was seen as magic, as glamour, as witchcraft. Makeup was banned in a lot of Puritan Christian societies because it was seen as witchcraft. So, if anything, it's probably quite at home in a makeup store. So anyway, that's my 50 cents worth in there. Just there are larger, more pertinent things in the world that are going on that need people to rally around and get the community around than it is to stop a company from putting out a tacky piece of witchcraft paraphernalia that could lead to someone going and actually finding the true path, where you've now just cut that off for people. Just think about what it was like when you first started, and and how it was hard to get things or know the right places to get things. And yeah, don't get so offended about stuff. You know, there's people that would be offended about, you know, my boobs and you know, what I'm wearing now. But you just lighten up. People are just too tense and wound up and afraid to say things anymore because someone's going to get offended. Someone's going to not misconstrue what you've said and not actually listen to the whole thing and get offended, and you know, it's just, yeah. So I think the offended horse is the fifth horse of the apocalypse. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to go. So I hope you enjoyed this little ramble with my witchy face on, and merry meet, merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed be.
If you like this video and want to see more, please click on the links provided. If you think this witchcraft thing may be for you, please subscribe. Blessed be.